My gosh.
Right? Can you imagine someone who killed you for no reason, right? Right? But this is someone that you made agreement, right, in the spirit world before you came, and say, hey, yeah, and you basically told this spirit friend is called a soul family member, right? You told your soul family member, I'm going to do this. I want to experience a short life, and I want to have a dramatic death for me to maybe overcome some fear. I think that's the goal, right? To overcome some fear.
Because and maybe that fear was because he didn't want people to know that he was gay.
No. No. So I'm saying, right? So if someone plan a life to have a dramatic death, what do you learn from that, right?
Well, was it attention? Because you're gonna get a big attention with that.
So it's not attention. Is because usually we die naturally, right? Either we're from some disease, right? When we get old, but we don't want to die when someone is killing us, right?
Right.
So this is, if you can die this way, you must have less fear, right? Because you're not even afraid of that. What you should be afraid of? So this is a bigger lesson, right?
Wow.
Let
me ask you.
Yeah.
What's the youngest person you've ever worked with?
14.
14.
Yeah, almost 13 to 14. Yeah, he is a teenager, and he went to that state, hypnotic state, in 1 minute, so fast.
Really?
Yeah, was so fascinating. I did not even plan to do this. It's by accident, just happened that way because his mom was doing something else, and he doesn't have anything to do. So I said, yeah. So I asked him. I said, because I have to make sure he's comfortable with that. So I said, do you want me to do a hypnosis session on you? So maybe you'll remember your other lives. And he said right away, he said, yes. And I said, oh. So we were sitting up, like just regular chair, no bed, no recliner, right?
Right.
And I was not sure because because it's not very comfortable position, right? So I have to put this person to relaxation state, and in no time, really like a minute, I did not even finish, and he's somewhere. He told me, yeah, and he's on a different planet.
Oh, he was here before, baby.
And this is a very fascinating story because
that means he's enlightened already. Would you not say that?
He came here just to help Earth.
Get out of here.
Yeah, and because he's on his planet was fascinating. And there's a name called Ursabular. Ursabular, that's the name of the planet. And I said, what do you look like? And because he's a teenager, right? So he
was curious to see what he was going to say.
Right. So I was not sure. I said, do you look like human? How many legs you have? And he said 2. I said, okay, how many arms you have? He said 3.
Oh my goodness.
And I said, what's like a skin color? I think it's like purple, something like purple.
Get out of here.
Yeah, and then basically they look like a dragon. They have like a dragon face, right? And so I said, how do you talk to each other? How can you understand each other? And it's when they move their head, and then when they move their head, their hair will move, right? So the movement of the hair will make them understand each other.
Oh, that's their language.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah. And I asked him, I remember, I said, do you work, right, on your planet? And he said, not really. Like what they do, actually they get what they need, but what they do is they do something they like to do. Yeah, it's not like us.
But right, where we forced to do what we don't want to do.
There's no planet so far. I find some planet is like Earth.
That's like us.
Yeah,
I believe you.
Yeah, so far I don't know. I always ask them, do you work? But I never.
I'm curious to know what they're doing. Like, what's their occupation?
And no, because I know the answer will be no. I know it. Yeah.
Oh.
And so he said, I don't remember is he, sometimes there's no gender. I think that's what he told me. No agenda, genderless, right? So I said, what do you do? He said, I study I studied the civilization of Earth. Yeah, and because he's interested, right? I said, what did you learn about Earth? He said, I learned on Earth, people use money. And because of that, it creates greed. And so most people on Earth, I remember this is how he said it, most people on Earth are corrupted.
Yes, yes, yes. Yes.
I try very hard
Oh my
not to laugh,
gosh.
right? It's true, and right. And I said, okay, so what do you like to do, right? If you after you studied, and he wants to come to Earth to help.
Oh my God. So he's, oh my God, but you didn't know, like, he didn't say help in what way?
Oh, I asked.
He just said help?
No, I asked him of everything, right? I would not leave a session that at the end I don't know how they did it, how they can do it. There's no such thing unless I forgot. But I asked everything, right? I think is important for this person, also for me to understand, right?
Right.
Because I have nothing else but questions, right? And that's my question is the tool to unfold everything, right?
Right.
So I said, so when you decide to do that, do you have to go to an authority to get a permission, right? Because your people from your planet just can go to another planet, and it seems like yes, you go to somewhere, but it's not to get a permission. I think it's to get this spaceship.
Get out of here! Oh my goodness!
You're gonna
That's
be
amazing.
Yeah.
Because now, honestly, you're now helping him. What if he didn't know what his purpose? Like, now he's to help.
Yeah.
So he could take a profession that
Yes.
is going to help other people, whether it's in the medical field. Like my son's birth chart said that he is going to be in the medical profession.
But
And I'm
but
so
those
surprised
I don't know.
at that because he wants to be a soldier. That's all he talked about is being a soldier or being an
Yeah.
officer, like
So-
his mom and dad.
So I don't really recommend people look at those birth chart. Yeah, maybe I don't know. I have because I have this gut feeling towards those. My gut feeling is neutral. It's not positive or negative, but it's not that good. Maybe it's not that bad, but it's not that good, right? But what you can find out is to let him to do a session, right? That he will find
Yes, trust me, I'm thinking like, okay, how
It doesn't
after
matter.
me, then him, or how we could, however to do this, definitely.
And you know how he came, right? I asked, I said, how far is from your planet to Earth? He said without thinking. They always do that, right? One client told me, well, I remember I tried because there are many times I have to try very hard not to, show my so it's not easy for me, okay? And I said, I remember one client, I said, how far is from your planet to Earth? And he said, without thinking, he said, 2 black holes away.
Get out of here! 2 black holes away.
And another person said 5 light years.
5 light years.
Right. And this teenager said 250,000 Earth years.
What?
250,000 Earth years, not light years. Right. So and amazing. And so I even asked this kind of silly question. I said, okay, so take some time to go to Earth, but they, because there's no time. So this is our time because we
Right. They don't experience the same time, right?
But I try to, sometimes I'm just silly, right? I can't help. So I said, okay, so you have
You're
some.
lighting it up.
Right.
You're lighting it up. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. It doesn't have to be all serious.
Right, no, not at all. And so I said, okay, so you have some time when you're in the spaceship, right? I said, what kind of a spaceship? Is this a big, small? He said, it's only for one person. Yeah, and
Oh my goodness.
yeah, and I don't remember, but I think the spaceship is operated by consciousness. It's not by some technology. Yeah, and so I said, okay, so you have some time when you're going to Earth, on the way to Earth. So what do you do when you're in the spaceship, right? I sometimes I just wonder what people would say, right? And I remember he said, in the spaceship on the way to Earth, I'm thinking about what I can do for Earth.
Mm.
Yeah. And so I said, okay, because you have a totally different shape, right? So you are not going to show up on Earth like this, right? And he said, no, like basically, it's not to just appear. They will become a human like everyone else. So, right, this is
But
not.
they would evolve into a human form.
So this spaceship goes to the ocean first. And then from the ocean, I don't know all the details. I can find out if I really want to, right? But that's kind of irrelevant to the session. So I said, then where you go? And then he goes to the womb. Because
oh my gosh.
yeah. And so I said, why you chose your parents to be your parents? Why you chose those, right? These two to be your parents? And he said, because I know they will be loving enough for me to be able to do what I like to do.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah. And said, what you can do to help people on earth, right? He said, I will create music. So I said, why music can help people? He said, there's some, how to say, this rhythm or this, right? The notes, right? So certain people resonate with that note. And when they hear this music, they will feel better. And because they feel better, they can do more.
Oh my gosh. That's beautiful.
Right? So
oh my gosh.
It's such a beautiful story.
Body.
Right? It's such a beautiful story. And he came like 2007, do the calculation. Now it's 22. That's why he's 14, right? Going to be. This is the soul. We have many souls came like this, just in a different way.
Oh wow!
It's
That's so amazing,
right? But when we came, we are the same. We don't remember. We're wiped. The memory has been wiped because
it's been wiped. You're brand new from a birth, from a child form.
Right. And another client of mine, and he went to some past life, and a past life, I don't even know it's a parallel life or past life, right? Just he's on a different planet, right? And he looks like a reptilian, but it's a positive. Not all reptilians are negative, right?
No.
Yeah, and so it's a positive.
They're just scary to humans, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're bad.
Right. And so I said, I know. As long as this person is right now on Earth, right? They did something on Earth besides this life. So I said, I don't remember the name of the planet. So I said, do you know Earth? Do you know Earth? It's such an interesting question, right? And he said, yes, I know Earth. So I said, okay, so what do you feel about Earth? And I don't remember this part, but I said, have you been on Earth? That's also an interesting question, right? And he said, many times. I said, what did you do? And he said, I want to help Earth. In what way? He said, I want people to be nicer to the ocean.
What in the world?
Right? And I said,
get out of here.
Yeah. And because we just do a lot of things, right? Pollute the ocean, right? Throw garbage to the ocean. And so I said, what do you do? And he said, I was on Earth as sea turtle. I said, sea turtle? I said, okay. Right? I said, a sea turtle, how sea turtle can teach us that? Right? You know what he said? He said, when you look at a sea turtle, how you feel? I said, I feel they're cute. Right? I feel they're just so gentle and cute. And he said, yes, when you look at them, right, you understand sea turtles' home is the ocean. Right? So if you feel they're cute, you will not want to pollute the ocean, right? Unbelievable. It makes me cry.
Beautiful.
They came all the way from their planet to do this. right? They don't even do much. They just, right, be this sea turtle and they just, right, stay somewhere, right? So we can see them, right? And then we love them, right? We want to protect them because we want to
protect them.
Right.
Oh my goodness. So it sounds like we're the worst planet that there is. It just seems so, like.
But see, this is again, right? We can say that, but from another perspective, right? Is because, right? Earth is chaotic, right? We do a lot of things to hurt Earth, to pollute not just Earth and also the planet, the atom, the air, the mountains, right? The ice, everything. But because of that, there's so much we can do to change it.
Oh my God, because we have the resources.
Because then we have the opportunity. Otherwise, we have nothing to work on.
Oh my goodness. How amazing.
And right, so I appreciate what I do so much. I feel the universe. Right? I really thank universe almost every day that why I'm so lucky to be able to have access to those information. Right?
Right.
And for me to understand more, and because I understand more, so I can use what I know to share with others. Right? To let them know, that we are here for a reason, and right, we're not here to just take, right? Take the resources.
We're here to give back as well.
Right, and because the more you give, the more you take. How to say? Giving is receiving.
Receiving, yes.
Right, and taking. This is my sentence. Taking is losing. Right. Because then.
Oh wow.
There's so much, and this is what happened to you, right? When you're doing the session, you also will discover a lot of things, and right. And every single time when I'm doing the session, I'm like a lot of moments. I was shocked.
Yeah, you have to, because some things are just like you didn't expect to hear that, you know.
And I did not know, like, sea turtle. Like, next time if I look at a sea turtle, what do you think, right? How I'm gonna feel?
Right, you're gonna feel so nice and warm. Oh my gosh, that's so amazing.
Right. When I look at them, of course, maybe not every sea turtle, right? But some of them, they came all the way from another planet to help us to be gentle to the ocean.
Wow.
Because when we pollute the ocean, right, we are going to, be hurt also ourselves, right? It's hurting others is hurting ourselves. So we don't benefit. We take so much. We take animals' life. Fish and like even dolphin, right?
You heard about the great white shark that white shark that came up ashore today? Is it today or yesterday in Long Island? Person doesn't think about the universe, not the universe, but the planet that we live on, and if they don't recycle or do certain things, that they're ultimately killing us versus
or killing others,
helping us live a long, lengthy life.
See, like I just like what I said about the community idea, right? So if we live that way, we don't need to kill anything.
Right.
You see, right?
You embrace.
Right. And then if we're nicer to nature, then we'll be able to enjoy what the earth is offering, us. And this reminds me of another client of mine, and she is earth consciousness. She's a part of she's part of earth consciousness. So I had a conversation with her, and I said, okay, so you are basically there are 8 billion people walking on you. Right? Walking.
And she's like, yeah, I enjoy it.
And I said, how you feel right now on Earth, right? About us right now, right? And she said, I am, she said, I'm sad. I said, what makes you feel sad? And she said, it's not even because we pollute the air, the ocean, right? Not even because of that. She said, what makes me feel sad is, 8 billion people, there are not many, there are so many people are walking without knowing their purpose. See, that's what she said. But she also said, but I love, right, everyone unconditionally.
Oh my goodness. Look at her soul. It's not even tainted by the earth.
No, because love, when love is not unconditional, it's not love. Right? Earth, this earth consciousness it's not that earth has the consciousness all the time. When earth, I just have to watch the video, I don't remember everything. So I said, when did you come to earth? Because the consciousness came later, right? Earth was there, then the consciousness, like the fetus, right? Sometimes the soul will come to the fetus the last moment before, right? The baby was born.
Really?
Yeah, it's not from day one. It's not from day one. Okay, and I think I even had a session. This a soul entered the baby is after the baby was born.
What?
I think that's also possible. I'm not.
I believe my son entered me. I want to say around 5. And see, this is me talking where I can't talk to other people. I think my son came to me in my dream when I was about 5 to 6 months, and he showed me that he was a boy.
See.
That he was cool. He showed me his head, and that he was a boy. But I didn't choose to learn his sex until he was born, his gender. And then when I heard him cry, I said, "That's Kaylin?" And they said, "Yes, it's a boy." And I was like, "I know." Because he showed me in my dream
so
who he was.
You know why? How this works is before you chose this life, right? Let's say you're in the spirit world, and you look at this life and say, "Okay, I'm interested. I'm interested, and I'm gonna choose this life, right?" And I did ask the soul. I said, "How? So you're gonna choose your parents, obviously, right?" Yes. So I said, "Do you have to get their permission?" Yes. They have to agree. So that can be in the dream. Yeah. Because the parents are
agree to come to you.
Right. Because they also learn certain things from the child, not just you learn from them. Okay? We learn from each other. So they have to agree to accept you.
Oh my goodness.
So,
could it be that your past loved one chose them for you?
Say it one more time.
Could it be that you had, like, let's just say my mom didn't die before my son was born, but could it have been that my mom chose, like, if God forbid she had passed away before he was born, that she chose him for me?
Of course.
Oh, it does. So that is also possible too.
Yes, almost everything's possible.
Oh wow.
Everything's possible, besides for good reason, right? But what is not possible is there's no truly anything negative energy, right, is not really true. It's the other side of the light. So it's like, right, let's say if someone's bad or acting bad, is right for them to learn their lesson, right? And sometimes it's also for other people to learn from his behavior, right? So we can learn, right? So there's no evil, right? But that's a little bit deeper talk, right? But
right. But it's still mesmerizing.
It's not some people come here, they're just supposed to be bad. They don't do anything good. They can do nothing good, but still their soul and your soul, there's no difference. I said they're learning a much bigger lesson, right? Just when we're in the physical body, we don't see it. We look at everything from the surface, right? Good, bad, right? Like, or not too bad, not too good. But there are many more underneath, right? So we cannot see, because if we understand everything, then again we cannot learn the lesson. Right? We have this amnesia then we don't remember. We don't remember how we designed this life.
We suppressed it?
No, it's when you are born, you forget. Because you have to forget everything in order to learn anything. Your cup has to be empty. Right? Why we keep saying that? You cannot learn, you cannot just add things. It doesn't work.
Right.
It doesn't work well, basically, right? So you have to empty everything and say, okay, now I'm a student, right?
Right. I'm fresh now, so now I'm able to absorb everything that I'm supposed to for this particular lifetime.
Right. Like you don't remember anything, like you never did anything before, right? Because we understand if someone did something, right? Let's say anything, like let's say any skill, let's say construction, right? If you want to teach someone how to do construction, and this person says, "Oh, I did this before 5 years ago. I did that, 7 years ago." So this person is not going to listen to you too much.
Yes, because they already in their head they already know everything.
Yeah, it's not coachable, right? This person becomes not coachable. It's not good because because what you are going to teach this person can be a totally different thing, right? Because no one knows everything.
Right.
But if the person,
no one knows everything.
It's not possible, right? It's possible when you don't have the body, you remember everything, but then you don't have the physical experience, right? So in order to have this experience, you have to forget everything, because otherwise you'll quit.
Right. So you better understand the lesson being taught to you.
So we learn from each experience, right? From each experience, and we cannot. Also, it's very important when we're learning. A lot of people, including myself, right? So we complain because we don't like this challenge, right? Challenge is never comfortable, right? If it's comfortable, we wouldn't use challenge, right? So we say, oh, it's challenging. So let's say someone, let's say. Who is married, but this, let's say, husband cheated on her, right? So she has to get divorced and then, start a new life, right? No one likes this, right? No one enjoys something like that, right? But this is a challenge because this is part of the, let's say, the life theme, right? It's something you chose to encounter this matter when you are 35, let's say, right? So this person chose, but of course, because the person forgot, so she doesn't remember, right? She chose this, right? So when that thing happens, when this divorce cheating, right, occurred, usually, normally, how we react, we feel this is not fair, right? We feel this is betrayal, right? This is just, you feel very angry, right? And sad, all the negative emotions, right? And also the person can feel, let's say this is a woman, right? Let's say this, I just use my name. Let's say her name is Naomi, right? So Naomi feels what? She feels maybe she's not good enough, right? She will lose self-confidence, self-acceptance, right? Because that person, right, can make this person feel this way. So she can be so overwhelmed by this happening, and she lost confidence, she lost the self-love, and she became very angry, and she feels life betrayed her, and she became depressed, right? Okay, that can happen, right? Then she can come to me and say, oh, I need to do this, right? Hypnotherapy, because I don't feel good. I'm stuck. I'm lost, right? Or if she understands, right, the purpose of her life, if she understands who we are, right, why we came here, right, and she can act totally differently, right? So let's say the husband cheated, right, and for no reason, she did not do anything wrong. Okay, and she can say, this happened, right? So now what? Now, first of all, right, that I have to accept it because it happened. Right? So I'm not going to resist because I know it happens for a reason, right? It happens for a reason. Nothing happened by accident. So it happens for a reason. For me to learn something, what did I learn? What do I learn from this? I learned, for example, right? I learned Well, people can change their mind, right? People, maybe he loved me for 10 years, but now he changed, right? He changed. So that happens. It happens, right? So I'm going to accept that because basically you don't have a choice, right? So she can accept it in a very bitter way, or she can accept this happening in a very something that I wouldn't say she'll be very happy to accept this, but she can say, you know what? I don't have to feel bad, right? He started dating someone else, not always because I'm not good enough, right? Because that can happen to anyone. Just because, right? They feel bored about this relationship, right? Maybe my energy no longer compatible with his energy, right? Maybe I change, right? And he doesn't like the change. It doesn't matter. We don't have to think if someone changes, it's because we're not good enough. That doesn't mean that, right? And so then I'm okay with what happened. I'm okay with that, right? And now,
because you have a better understanding.
Right. Not only okay, because I know everything happens for a reason. So now it's time for me to focus on something, right? I'm gonna start a new life. Because I'm going to be single, right? Maybe I'll meet someone, but right now I'm going to be single, right? But this is why this cannot be exciting for me. Because I'm going to do things differently, right? If I'm single, I'm going to have more time, more freedom, right? A lot of things, right? So I maybe I learned new skill, right? Maybe I started learning some, right? And maybe I take a course, right, to learn Reiki, right? Because I always want to do something like that, energy healing, right? That's something I'm interested. So one, of course, it's easy to say. It's not easy to do. But what I just said is something totally is possible for us to do, right? It's possible. I'm not saying it's easy, but it's possible. Right? If you really look at life this way, because we have a big purpose, right, to be here. But the purpose is not to suffer. No, you learn from it, but you don't need to suffer. You can move on, and you can be excited about your life and say, from now on, I know my life is not going to be the same, but I'm going to make my life become something even better than before. Why not? Why not possible? Of course it's possible. Right? I'm going to do skydiving or scuba diving, right? That doesn't matter, right? Before I didn't have time because I always have to take care of someone or children. Right now, right? Let's say if this person doesn't have children, right? And now I don't have to say, hey, you want to do this with me, right? No, you can just go. You can travel. Right? And I really think we shouldn't waste any time suffering because
that is true.
That's not the purpose of this life. It's never. I never heard any higher self said, oh, what's this?
I'm here to be tortured.
No, never. You wouldn't come, right? Because you chose this life to experience, but not to suffer. Suffer is optional. Yes. You can have a bad experience, but when that happened, okay, you accept it and say, okay, that happened, I deal with it. But to suffer, that's because you chose to. But I know people will ask me right away and say, oh, if someone is with you for 10 years and all of a sudden the person just changed his mind, how can you not suffer? The answer is, yes, you can. You can, or you can, right, not suffer. Because it's up to you. It's not someone's forcing you. It's just because you believe that you're supposed to feel sad. But who said you are supposed to be sad? Who? It's some sort of belief. If this happened, then I'm supposed to feel sad, right? It's the society or someone, right? It's If it's a child, the child wouldn't understand it. Let's say if you have a 3-year-old, she wouldn't say, "Oh, mom, you should suffer." She wouldn't, because she doesn't have that concept. She doesn't have that belief yet. Right? You get it? It's because we believe that should be the case. No, you can say, I know what happened to me, but I chose not to suffer. I chose to be happy. I chose to be, right, feeling okay.
Right, feeling good, doing good.
Right. Of course we can.
Wow.
It's that easy. It's really not something, it's, oh, we have to, right, learn for 5 years, right, to know this. No, you can, so that's why spirituality is always the best medicine for anything, because spirituality is not a hobby. It's not a religion. It's not even philosophy. What is spirituality? Is the truth of universe.
The truth of the universe.
It's you want to understand the truth or you want to stay away from the truth, right? It's up to that person.
Right.
It's nothing new. Nothing new. It's the truth. That's the way it is. Right? And you can choose to suffer. If you feel that's good for you for a short period of time, that's okay. But why? Right? You can choose not to suffer. So why, right? You have both, right? Choices. You have both. And you say, which one? Oh, I choose to suffer. Okay. If you choose, then don't complain.
Right. You can't complain. Right. Right. That's the choice you chose.
Right. Right. So.
Oh my goodness.
It's so simple. Do you feel like just because we did not realize this, it's not that we don't know. You know, everyone knows, right? The person who is suffering, right? He or she can stop right there, and say, "I'm done. I'm done suffering."
But to make that choice, sometimes it's easier to live within the pain and suffering than it is to work yourself out of that.
You don't have to work on it. This is, of course, some people might not agree with me, but I will say this way, right? Let's say you are drinking someone give you a drink, right? Let's say you go to a party, right? And you know orange juice, Coke, right? So those but someone said, oh, this is some new drink, right? Not everyone likes, right? And you can try it, and you tried it, right? You tried it, and right, you can feel like, oh my God, this is horrible because you never tried that kind of drink, right? But maybe another person can feel, oh, I like it, right? But okay, that's not the point. The point is, if you feel this is so horrible, right? You don't like it. What do? You stop drinking, right? You put on the table and say, sorry, it's not for me, right?
Right.
Okay, but the suffering is like this. So what I just said, that person, she drank it. She drank it and she said, oh my God, it's horrible. Because to suffer that's the feeling. Every day you don't feel good. And then she could say, this is not for me, I put on the table, right? But she keeps drinking it. She said, this is horrible, but she keeps drinking it. That's what she's doing.
That's what she's doing.
Yeah, it's the same thing, same concept. So it's not like,
Hold on 1 second, please. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Mm-hmm.